was shocking. It's like, oh my God. And I asked the casting director, Nicky Valco, who's computer guys with the pocket protectors and the taped glasses. That's an entrepreneurial.
Remember when CBS meant crime procedurals and nothing else? Then, in 2007, they dropped a sitcom about 4 awkward physicists and their hot neighbor, and suddenly nerd culture went mainstream.
To do together, and I don't even know why you were telling me stories about computer programming in New York in the 80s.
The Big Bang Theory wasn't just a show. It was a cultural phenomenon that made being smart, cool, while simultaneously being accused of mocking the very people it celebrated. The series that ran for 12 seasons launched a spin-off and made Bazinga a thing people actually said. Today we're diving into 15 weird facts about the show that dominated television for over a decade. Hit like and subscribe for more deep dives into shows that changed TV. Let's start with number 15. 15. The original pilot was completely different and never aired. The Big Bang Theory's unaired pilot featured completely different characters, tone, and premise that tested so poorly, CBS demanded a total rewrite. Kaylee Cuoco's character was a tough, streetwise woman, not the sweet girl next door Penny.
Birthday party, or so help me God, I will go into your bedroom and unbag all of your most valuable mint-condition comic books.
Katie was abrasive and manipulative, making the guys seem pathetic rather than endearing. The pilot had darker humor and meaner character dynamics that audiences hated. Only Johnny Galecki and Jim Parsons were kept from the original cast. CBS gave creator Chuck Lorre one chance to completely reimagine the show, which became the version that aired and succeeded massively. 14. Jim Parsons originally auditioned for a completely different role. Jim Parsons initially auditioned for a different character in the original pilot, not Sheldon Cooper. The role he read for was eliminated in the rewrite, but casting directors remembered his unique energy and called him back for Sheldon specifically. Parsons almost didn't audition at all, having sworn off pilot season after years of rejection. His agent convinced him to try one more time. Parsons read Sheldon's dialogue once and knew exactly how to play him, channeling his own Texas upbringing and intellectual awkwardness.
Oh, that is so...
The audition was so perfect that producers stopped seeing other actors immediately. The role that made Parsons a star almost didn't happen because he'd given up trying. 13. The show's science was vetted by actual UCLA physicists. Every equation on whiteboards, every scientific conversation, every theoretical physics reference was checked by actual UCLA professor David Saltzberg, who served as the show's science consultant. Saltzberg ensured the science was accurate enough that real physicists wouldn't mock the show mercilessly. He'd receive scripts, correct the science, and sometimes suggest entire storylines based on current research. The whiteboards in Sheldon's apartment contained real unsolved physics problems that changed periodically. Graduate students would pause episodes to read the equations and confirm their accuracy. This commitment to authentic science gave the show credibility with actual scientists, despite being a comedy about stereotypical nerds. 12. Kaylee Cuoco badly injured her leg, and they had to hide it all season. During season 4, Kaylee Cuoco seriously injured her leg in a horseback riding accident, requiring surgery and months of recovery. Production couldn't halt filming, so they wrote around her injury creatively. Penny suddenly started working from home, sitting behind bars and counters constantly. Several episodes feature her hidden behind furniture or filmed only from the waist up. Wide shots became rare as cinematographers framed scenes to hide her cast and crutches. Cuoco was in significant pain throughout filming, but never missed a day, hobbling between takes. The injury is completely invisible in the final episodes, despite dominating production logistics for months. 11. The apartment's elevator, being broken, was a budget-saving measure. The building elevator being perpetually broken wasn't just a running gag. It was a practical, budget-saving decision that saved production millions over 12 seasons. Elevator scenes require expensive effects, additional sets, and complex filming logistics that eat through budgets quickly. Making it broken meant characters always took stairs, which required only one simple stairwell set they used constantly. The decision forced character interactions during stair conversations that became some of the show's best moments. Writers turned the limitation into character development and running jokes. What started as penny pinching became iconic to the show's identity and saved CBS a fortune across 279 episodes. 10. Sheldon's spot on the couch was based on Chuck Lorre's real OCD. Sheldon's obsessive attachment to his specific spot on the couch, including the detailed explanation of its scientific superiority, came from creator Chuck Lorre's actual obsessive-compulsive behaviors. Lorre has his own spot at home, with specific reasoning about sight lines, temperature, and comfort that he's documented. He channeled his real compulsions into Sheldon's character, making the quirks feel authentic rather than caricatured. The spot became one of the show's most recognizable running gags, referenced in nearly every season.
Leonard, my comforter fell down and my sinuses hurt when I bend over.
Lorre has admitted that writing Sheldon's OCD helped him process and understand his own psychological patterns through comedy, rather than therapy. 9. The show was filmed before live audiences, despite complex effects. Unlike most sitcoms with effects, The Big Bang Theory filmed before live studio audiences rather than using laugh tracks, creating enormous logistical challenges. Audiences watched actors perform against green screens and pretend to interact with effects that didn't exist yet. Warm-up comedians had to explain what audiences would eventually see in the finished episode. Some jokes didn't land because audiences couldn't understand what was supposed to be funny without complete visual effects. Filming took significantly longer than typical sitcoms because of these complications. The commitment to live audiences meant genuine laughter rather than canned responses, but made production exponentially more difficult and expensive than necessary. 8. Mayim Bialik was cast as Amy because she actually has a PhD in neuroscience. Mayim Bialik wasn't cast as Amy Farrah Fowler despite having a real neuroscience PhD from UCLA, but because of it.
A PhD in neuroscience from UCLA, and
Wow.
Yes, thank you.
Producers specifically wanted an actress who could authentically portray academic intelligence and scientific knowledge without faking it. Bialik understood the academic world, the social awkwardness, and the intellectual culture from lived experience rather than research. She could improvise scientific dialogue and correct script errors because she actually understood the material. Her casting added legitimacy to Amy's character that would have been impossible with an actress pretending. The show's commitment to authenticity meant hiring someone who'd lived the life they were depicting, not just someone who could act it. 7. The show's laugh track was accused of being fake, despite being real. Critics constantly accused The Big Bang Theory of using a fake laugh track, but every laugh was recorded from actual studio audiences watching filming. The misconception came from how loud and consistent the laughter sounded compared to modern sitcoms. Audiences genuinely found the show hilarious, laughing more enthusiastically than typical sitcom crowds. Audio engineers mixed the laughter to maintain consistent levels, which made it sound artificial to suspicious ears. The show's detractors assumed laughter that loud and frequent must be manufactured. Multiple behind-the-scenes videos show real audiences laughing exactly as heard in broadcasts, but the conspiracy theory persisted throughout the show's entire run, despite evidence. 6. Johnny Galecki and Kaylee Cuoco secretly dated while playing on screen. Couple Johnny Galecki and Kaylee Cuoco dated in secret for 2 years while playing Leonard and Penny, whose on-screen relationship was the show's romantic center. Nobody on set knew except the actors themselves, who kept the relationship completely private. They broke up amicably during season 3 and continued working together seamlessly, maintaining professional chemistry despite personal history. The secret only emerged years later when Cuoco mentioned it casually in interviews. Their ability to portray romantic tension while navigating real relationship complications demonstrated remarkable professionalism. Knowing they were actually dating recontextualizes early seasons' romantic scenes entirely. The show's central love story was played by people living it simultaneously. 5. The show made its cast, the highest-paid TV actors in history. By the final seasons, the 5 main cast members negotiated a salary of $1 million per episode each, making them the highest-paid television actors ever at that time. The negotiation was unprecedented, with all 5 actors bargaining collectively rather than individually to ensure equal pay. They took pay cuts in later seasons to help fund raises for Mayim Bialik and Melissa Rauch, demonstrating unusual solidarity. Over 12 seasons, each main cast member earned over $20 million from salary alone, not including syndication royalties. The show's massive profitability meant CBS could afford these salaries while still making enormous profits. No sitcom cast had ever commanded such salaries for such duration. 4. The show was accused of perpetuating negative nerd stereotypes. Despite being credited with mainstreaming nerd culture, The Big Bang Theory faced constant criticism for perpetuating harmful stereotypes about socially awkward scientists and geeks. Critics argued the show laughed at nerds rather than with them, using intelligence as a punchline for mockery. The characters' social incompetence and relationship struggles reinforced negative stereotypes rather than challenging them. Scientists and academics had mixed reactions, some appreciating representation, while others felt caricatured. The debate continued throughout the show's run about whether it celebrated or exploited nerd culture. 3. Sheldon Cooper was originally meant to be a minor character. Sheldon Cooper was written as a supporting character in early development, not the show's breakout star and eventual central focus. Leonard was supposed to be the clear protagonist, with Sheldon providing occasional comic relief. Jim Parsons' performance was so compelling that writers kept expanding Sheldon's role until he dominated every episode. By season 3, Sheldon had effectively become the main character, despite Leonard being the original lead. The shift frustrated some fans who felt Leonard's character development suffered from Sheldon's overshadowing presence. 2. The show's spin-off. Young Sheldon was more critically acclaimed than the original. Young Sheldon, the prequel series about Sheldon's childhood, received significantly better critical reviews than The Big Bang Theory despite being its spin-off. Critics praised Young Sheldon's sweeter tone, lack of laugh track, and genuine emotional depth compared to the original's broader comedy. The single-camera format without a studio audience allowed more nuanced storytelling that The Big Bang Theory's multi-camera setup couldn't achieve. Young Sheldon's portrayal of Texas family life resonated differently than the original's nerd culture comedy. The spin-off succeeded by being fundamentally different from its source material rather than replicating it. Ironically, the show about child Sheldon was taken more seriously than the show about adult Sheldon. 1. The series finale was watched by 18 million people. Despite streaming era, The Big Bang Theory's series finale in 2019 drew 18 million viewers, making it one of the most watched finales of the streaming era. In an age when traditional TV ratings had collapsed and most people watched via streaming, 18 million watching live was unprecedented. The finale was the most watched scripted TV episode of the entire 2018 to 2019 season across all networks. It proved that despite declining traditional TV viewership, event television could still draw massive simultaneous audiences. The show that critics often dismissed as lowbrow ended with ratings that demonstrated its massive cultural impact. After 279 episodes across 12 seasons, it closed on top, defying predictions that streaming had killed appointment television entirely. And there you have it, 15 weird facts about The Big Bang Theory, from secret relationships to record salaries to a finale that defied the streaming era. Which fact shocked you most? What did we miss? Drop it in the comments. Hit like if you still hear Bazinga in your nightmares, subscribe for more deep dives into shows that dominated their decades. And share this with a friend who argued about this show constantly. Until next time, that's all, folks. Bazinga.